understand this statement. Common sense tells us that if you imbibe alcohol regularly, you become known as an alcoholic, better known as a drunk. If you inhale, inject, ingest, snort, or sniff drugs of any kind and of any nature regularly, you become known as a druggie or a junk. If you eat processed foods, junk foods, canned foods, frozen foods, or meats, especially red meats, regularly, you become known as an animal. Why? Because animals such as pigs, dogs, and chickens eat in and everything. And these foods that I just named consist of in and everything.
All right, preach it.
If you think poverty, your pockets will be empty and your environment shambles. If you think dumb, you will never be smart enough to forge ahead. If you think weakness, strength and courage will always stay at bay. And if you think hate, you chain your own self to slavery. For it is love that frees.
Right.
There is a popular verse taken from Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 7. Many of you have probably heard it in part. For as a man thinketh, so is he. Well, the entire verse reads, Eat thou not the bread of he who has an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meat. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. The morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up and lose thy sweet words. Not only what you think, eat, and drink is important, this verse also warns us not to eat and drink of those who have evil eyes, because their thinking is evil, thereby contaminating the food. There is a story in the book of Daniel, starting with the first chapter and the first verse. Daniel and the three other young men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were all teenagers. They had been captured in their homeland and brought into captivity, into a foreign country, far away from home. The king of this foreign land first had the young men's names changed. Then the king ordered a special diet for Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, food taken from his own table. But the four young men refused to eat the food from the king's table. Instead, they requested water to drink, fresh fruits and vegetables, raw nuts and grains. At the end of 10 days, these four looked more handsome. They were stronger, healthier, and wiser than any of the other young men chosen by the king. As the story goes, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego became the most well-known in the kingdom for their talents, knowledge, riches, and miracles. Our bodies are designed to eat and drink fresh and live foods. For life begets life, health, and strength. Death